Okay, this is a review of the Touratech Zega Mundo Panniers for the Honda Africa Twin. And before I go over all the stats on the Panniers and all that good information you can find online, I'll give you some information here in this video as well. But what I need to show you, what I'd like to show you, is what you won't find even at the Touratech website unless you dig deeply and click the link that shows the installation instructions for moving the rear indicators, because that has to be done for these boxes. It's not a big deal. But what you won't find online easily anyway, and what I didn't even know until I got the install instructions with my Panniers, was that there is no more drilling up through the rear fender. So let me show you real quick how they managed to do this, and it's really actually pretty cool. Alright, here is what they do instead. Now, it used to be they had a brace that went across here and you drilled up using a template up under the fender and secured it to the subframe that way. Well, it's still secured to the subframe, but in this in this configuration, what they've done, or for this model year 2018, what they've done is they're making use of all three of the OEM clamps on the Africa Twin, the 2018 model. Now, I don't know whether it works on earlier models. I assume not, but you'd have to try and see. But what this is pretty cool right here. This is like an expanding clasp that when you drive these screws in, it expands this and tightens this up into here, this hook here into the notch underneath. And all Africa Twins have this notch underneath as well, because the OEM Panniers use these three notches in sort of a similar way. The OEM Panniers hook on top, and then the lock clasps and pushes a hook up under this, up into this notch in the bottom. But it's not nearly as strong as this. Once this is connected, it is seriously strong and very robust. Turatech says this is the strongest in the industry, and I don't disbelieve them. So you've got inserts in the top here. Hopefully you can see that come with the Panniers, and then the hooks on the Panniers go into these inserts in the notches, and then there's this hook underneath that clasps to here and expands and hooks this whole thing together, so it's one giant clasping system that's very, very robust. Now, they also, like most Panniers, racks anyway, extend the front brace down to the rear foot pillion, and you can see that here. It's plenty strong. And of course, there's the rear buttressing as well with this brace that goes across the back. But it ends up being probably as strong or stronger than the 2017 and earlier racks for Touratech. And it also acts as a crash bar for the bike, if I didn't say that already. Touratech rates it as such, and I believe them. I've taken them down the road and I've had soft bags on here and fallen over, and it's just held up wonderfully. So that's the coolest thing about the 2018 Zega Mundo Panniers and rack, that you don't have to do any more drilling underneath. And you'll see on the other side it's the same. Using that clasp there, they hook it on with these three notches, and once this thing's on there, it's on there really good and tight. Now, somebody asked me if you could take this off easily. It wouldn't be difficult. It wouldn't be something I'd want to do every day, but you could do it fairly easily. I would say it would take half an hour, because you'd have to remove this rear bolt on this rear pillion footrest and or mount, and it would take you probably half an hour to take the rack off if you really wanted to. But I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know why anyone would want to take the rack off, honestly. It looks fine on the bike at all times. And another big change was when Honda went to the 2018 model, they put the LED indicators on the back, and there are on the stock, and they're still on this bike as well, there are 15mm spacers that normally are on the outside here, but the instructions call to move those spacers to the inside. And as you can tell, it looks stock. All I've done is taken that spacer that was on the outside here, a 15 mil spacer, and placed it on the inside per the instructions, and it's pretty easy to do. It takes maybe 20-30 minutes to do the whole thing. That's the hardest part actually of the whole install, is moving these LED indicators in. But you can see they line up perfectly well and they look nice. Before I put the panniers on, what I'll do is we'll take a look at the boxes here. All right, so let me take, this is a 31 liter box. And before I go over the inside, I'll show you the outside. This is how it hooks on to the rack using this puck and mount system. These slip over the bottom rail of the rack, and these slip over the top and are tightened, I'll show you in a minute, with pucks inside that you dial. The construction on these things is pretty amazing. It's extruded aluminum with sealed edges and a deep groove, waterproof silicone seal, and I like these boxes a lot. I think they look really cool. I like the minimalist design of the box. It's pretty darn cool looking on the bike to me. But let's go ahead and show you how easily these open. And what's really cool about these Turatech boxes is that they open from either side, or both sides. You just push up here and the hook comes off, and on the other side, same. Or actually what you would do in normal situation is you would lift this up. Oops, hook there, hold on 1 second. You would lift this guy up, and now it's being stuck in there. And then these latches are actually dual function. They act as a hinge and as a latch locking system. So in this case, I've got it open from this side, and with the wire, it hinges over here on this side. You can also take this wire off and take the complete top off if you wanted to. These are the pucks I was talking about that you screw in to tighten it. I'll show you that in a minute. And I can also show you inside this box here. You'll see that that is a Starbucks tray. And yes, I drink Starbucks like most, or many of you I'm sure do. And I have taken home two large, or venti, the big ones, in this bike. Just push them down in here. I go to the drive-up window at Starbucks, and I order them. I stick them down in there, and I drive home with zero problems. I mean, it is so cool. They're on the bike so tight, there is no issue at all and no worry. All right, so if you were to close this side, you can open this side here, and voila, you have the whole lid comes off, which is a pretty cool feature actually. And in case you wanted to use this for holding tools or something like that while you're working in the field. And you can even, like I say, take the wire off real easily there, and you got the whole top off. I also like the design of the box because it's got the flat top, and it's got the strapping hooks flush to the outside, so that the top is still flat, which is very cool. You can store on top of here and strap stuff down. And to get it back on, it's just so simple. I mean, you can see I'm doing all this one-handed here, and it's just no problem at all. And this here is the 38 liter, and it works the same way. And there you go. All right, so I'm going to put them on the bike now and show you how easily that's done. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything here. If I am, feel free to ask any comments, or to ask any questions in the comments. All right, here's my 31 liter, and again, it's real simple. You just slide these bottom hooks in, and when you do that, you kind of push down, and it's a real snug, tight fit, so it's not going anywhere. And when you open one side or the other, it takes half a second. That wire doesn't get caught. And you position your upper latch in the up position. And once you've done that, you tighten the puck. I'll show you here in a second. Actually, I'll bring the camera over and show you how I'm doing the other one here. Alright, so what you're doing here is you're taking this latch and you're turning it up, and it kind of snaps into place if you do it just right. And then you tighten this puck, and Bob's your uncle. You are in there good and tight. Close the lid and lock it. Now this set, I also ordered the optional integral locking system. So one key fits all of these locks on both panniers. So just one key for all the locks. All right, so we'll go ahead and install this one over here. I can show you how easy it is. I'll do it one-handed. Well, for the most part. All right, I just stick those hooks over the rail, push down, and you can see how it squeezes in here. I can do it with one hand. There you go. And then you've got to open it up so that you can spin the latch, and there you go. Tighten down the puck, and you can look at, see how pretty these panniers are, how well designed they are. They're really well designed. Strong, they'll probably last for a long time. I imagine eventually I'll end up dinging them up or going off-road with them, and then at that point I won't care, but at this point I'm trying to keep them kind of pretty. Put those down too. And so there, now it's on there tight, and it is not going anywhere, let me tell you. It is tight. I hope you can see that. I think they look really great on the bike. I'll give you a little look all the way around. You can see that, yeah, it would have just barely touched this box had the LED indicator not been brought in just a little bit. It probably would have rubbed against this box. Some people think they're wide for some reason. They have a reputation, Turatech, for being wide, but if you do your homework and look at your specs, they're no wider than the average panniers. And like I say, I think they look really pretty darn cool on the bike. End to end, these panniers are 39 inches wide right here, 39 inches. That's not very wide because my handlebars are from the ends of the tips of the handlebars to 35 inches, 36 inches, but from the ends of my hand guards, or even these OEM shields, this is 38 inches from here to here, 38. So if I can get someplace, if I can get through with my handlebars, I can get through just about in every case with my panniers. They're really not that wide. I love these panniers. I think they look great. I know it's a matter of taste. Some people like a different look. Some people like soft bags, but you can definitely put soft bags on these racks. Hopefully that helps anybody out that's looking to get some panniers. I did my research when I got this bike. I purchased my bike at a point when there were very few options available for the Africa Twin Adventure Sports. And I even had to wait about 6 weeks for these to become ready from Turatech. And I'm so happy with them. They are very robust, very strong. The rack is very strong. I feel very comfortable when I'm off-roading with this rack and a soft bag tied to it. It helps protect the back of the bike. If you want to see any particular videos, just ask me and I'll be happy to do them. And I ask you to subscribe if you would, and you'll hit that notification button, whatever it is, and be notified whenever I put out a video. I hope to do one a week if I can, and pretty soon here there will be riding videos. But thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to my subscriber of the week, Brian P. You're my man. So again, thanks guys. If you have any questions, please feel free and to ask in the comments or send me a message or whatever. And subscribe. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.